Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ethan Bernard. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my fully leveled Interceptor build. Now, holy shit. I've put about 30 hours or more into the gameplay of the demo so far, and it took me about 22 of those hours to get max level on my Interceptor. This little piece of shit right here took forever to drop. I was doing like strongholds, hard strongholds over and over and over and over with teams, and it was insane. We were flying through them, and it took me a long time to get this. And the worst part is, I'm not even using it. I just had that equipped to show you guys that yes, my Interceptor was 134. I have a fully leveled Interceptor, but no, I'm not using a fully leveled build. I have a couple different builds I'm going to show you guys in this video, and then later I'm going to kind of detail them in further and go through a gameplay of each build. But for now, this is my fun build. Okay, this is the build that I run around and kill everything with. I go into hard free play and I just run around and just, oh my god, it's so fun. I love it. So this build, for components, starting off, we have strike system and blade inscription. This is just a bunch of damage, baby. That's all you need with Interceptor, is just a ridiculous amount of damage. If you master the movement of this character, you don't really need any extra armor in free play or any of the normal missions. You should be fine. These are just two of the augments that I have, and those are the two I prefer to use. Now for strike system, this is my favorite ability in the game. I did not know this was a thing. I just recently unlocked this, and I've fallen in love with it. Detonating Strike is a charged melee attack that causes the target to explode after 4 seconds and triggers a larger explosion on death. Guys, this is nuts, okay? Because this is actually a melee ability. This is literally just another melee, and if you guys have seen my Interceptor gameplay, you know I love my melee, and this just allows you to combo shit more. It's just an addition to the complexity of the melee and movement of the Interceptor Javelin, and I am in love with this move. Now moving on, we have Target Beacon. As always, it's way better in combat than Rally Cry in my opinion, especially when it comes to killing things. If you put this on an elite and pull off a good melee combo, you can solo one of those yellow bars on hard mode with no issue at all. Okay, I have not gotten lucky enough to get a blue Target Beacon to drop yet, but there's still today left in the demo, so I'm hoping if I play all day, I'll have a chance to fully maximize the Interceptor in the exact build that I want to. So, now moving on to the assault system. This is kind of a tricky one, okay? Cryoglaive, as I learned yesterday with frost abilities, if you end up freezing an enemy and then meleeing, get a melee kill on them, enemies surrounding them will be frozen. However, I don't really see that ever to be an issue. Like with Interceptor's dodges, there's no real advantage to me having the enemies around someone I just killed frozen, especially when I have other options here that I can use, specifically Searching Glaive. Okay, Searching Glaive is a thrown gadget that seeks and destroys targets, but what you gotta notice here, okay, it does 1900 damage. Guys, this thing's nuts, okay? And purely for damage alone, this thing is worth using. And honestly, there's not a lot of abilities I like in this slot. Spark Dash, don't use this shit, okay? Ability that you can't use vertically, that you have to be aiming at an enemy to use it, for one, and you aren't allowed to use it vertically at all. Wherever you are vertically, it will go in a horizontal line wherever your character's facing, not where your camera's facing, wherever your character's facing. So if you're facing backwards and you point your camera at an enemy and use this ability, your character will dash backwards and it won't move up or down at all. It'll stay on a horizontal line, and for flow and movement and everything, I do not recommend Spark Dash unless the devs fix it, because right now it's a piece of shit ability that doesn't go with the flow of any of Interceptor's movement or combat attributes at all. So don't use Spark Dash. Now, for the weapons, this is where it gets a little interesting. For me, for when I want to have fun, machine pistols plus Interceptor is amazing. Close quarters, hell yeah. You can spray enemies down, all headshots, does a ton of damage. Deadeye is just your run-of-the-mill sniper. It's the only regular sniper in the demo. You have Whirlwind here, which is a bullshit, horrible assault rifle sniper hybrid. You can't shoot it on hipfire. You have to be aiming down the sights. It's trash. Devastator, blah, blah, blah. All you guys know, this is the boss killer. This is the best raid or stronghold gun in the game by far. I do not recommend it for normal use. It's not that fun to use. It's good at boss damage, but it's not fun. And I'm here to have fun and shit on everyone. Okay, so we're using Deadeye. One shot's red health adds to the head. Easy to use. If you know how to aim, you're good to go with it. Aim assist on controller is insane, by the way. I played with it for 2 minutes yesterday. If you're playing on controller, you should be fine with Deadeye. Okay, I'm using Deadeye because I like snipers, and I am going to be in free play, so there's a lot of red bar ads. Trajector, because it's the only rare machine pistol I have, and I have 2 of them for some reason. So, I would be using Barrage, but honestly, Trajector does 51 damage, and it shoots way faster. So, you know, we'll compare them later. So, this is kind of my have fun out in the open build, but there's another build I wanted to show you guys, okay? I have also created a Stronghold build. Now, I've done a lot of the strongholds in this game, and I decided why not mix up the customization a bit, okay? Because, you know, why the hell not? This guy looks like he's a freaking knight or some shit, ready to take on some tough shit, okay? As always, for all Stronghold and high-end PvE missions, we're using Devastator, a rare sniper rifle. Ammunition explodes on contact with target. Emphasis on the limited ammo. You can only carry 4 bullets. That's why I don't use this shit. Number 1, you have to charge it, which is stupid. I don't think you should have to charge this gun. The ammo limitation alone already puts a huge handicap for using this. Yes, it does a ridiculous amount of damage. If you pair it with one of Storm's bubbles, that gives you plus 20% bonus damage or some shit, and you can always get ammo on a consistent basis. This thing is ridiculous. It can destroy turrets, it can destroy elites, it can destroy bosses, but it's not fun, which is why I'm only using it in Stronghold, because if I don't need to have this thing equipped, I will not have this thing equipped. Now, the second weapon you use, honestly, any assault rifle or marksman rifle will do. I don't really prefer LMGs in this game. They do less damage than assault rifles a lot of the time, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, the Hammerhead right here does 78, the LMG does 99, but when you get a level 19 Hammerhead or something like that, it'll have more consistent damage with a way tighter spread. Now, I will say Relentless is an amazing LMG. It doesn't do as much damage, but this thing's spread will go very tight, and it's very good for just consistent DPS. But I do not have one at level 19 yet. And I have not gotten a single assault rifle other than Whirlwind, which is technically an assault rifle, at level 19. So for that reason, I'm going to be using Guardian, which is a burst fire marksman rifle, and it's fine. Now, for assault system, for the Stronghold, honestly, you don't need Searching Glaive. You can use Cryo Glaive for crowd control. It doesn't really matter. Once again, another horrible ability is Cluster Mine. This thing doesn't track people. It's really hard to set off. If you hit someone with this thing, literally the cluster mines will spread around them, but most enemies end up standing still anyway. So they literally just, it'll go, hey, now if you walk, you die, but most of them just sit there and shoot like a dipshit. So you can't really do shit with this ability. Cluster Mine and Spark Dash, to me, are the 2 worst abilities for the Interceptor Javelin. Now, if BioWare manages to fix Spark Dash, holy shit, I will love that ability. It is fun. It does 1,000 damage. Okay, Searching Glaive does a lot of damage. Spark Dash does enough damage, and it charges everything in the path. Okay, so I guess for crowd control, this would work too. But honestly, throwing Cryo Glaive with your team there and getting that melee kill and freezing a whole group of enemies in a stronghold specifically is going to be very useful compared to doing 1,000 damage in a straight line that you can't aim. Okay, your character has to be facing the way you want it to be, and it has to be on a ground equal horizontal level to wherever you want to damage. And once you start it, you can't get out of the animation, yada yada yada. You get it. I am not a fan of Spark Dash. Now, for the support system, we are actually using Rally Cry because in the Stronghold, there's a lot of enemies that will have the ability to put you on fire or in the boss fight, you will be having a lot of acid damage everywhere. If you group your team up, or if you dash, what I usually do is dash to my team, press Z, and dash out. This will remove any effects from you and people in the radius of you, which is very useful. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. It's not as good as Target Cracker, okay? Or Target Beacon, sorry. I play a lot of Warframe, so Target Cracker is just in the back of my head. But it is useful, okay? It's not as fun to use as Target Beacon. It's probably not as useful overall in combat, but in Strongholds, with a lot of status stuff being thrown everywhere, Rally Cry is definitely worth using. For Strike System, honestly, this is whatever for Strongholds. Like I said, Detonating Strike for me is the one I prefer, but honest, Venom Spray, Wraith Strike, any of these could be useful. Plasma Star might not be a bad one to run for Stronghold, because this does have armor melting damage, which means any heavily armored targets you can actually help take down with this thing. Throw it at a turret, throw it at an elite with a shield. You get the idea. It's pretty fun to use. Now, for components here, we've gone full out, just tank me up, baby. In these Strongholds, you have a shit ton of high-level enemies that do a ridiculous amount of damage, and if you're not careful, you could die in literally 1 second. Armor Reinforcement and Strike System Augment give you a lot more health, and I'm honestly thinking, when you're doing a Stronghold build endgame, you're going to want to just put like all 6 of these as armor or something, or maybe at least 3 or 4, because Interceptor is a little squishy guy. Okay, he literally the squishiest thing in Anthem, almost as much so as Storm. Storm dies faster, in my opinion, but that's because Storm doesn't have the ability to escape situations very easily. Anyway, guys, these are the builds. In separate videos, I'm going to be detailing both of these builds in-game, showing you how to use them, and I am currently working on a full movement guide for Interceptor, so keep a lookout for that. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any video requests, any questions, any advice you'd like, any tips, tricks, guides, anything you'd like made, put them down in the comments. I'm going to be making a ridiculous amount of Anthem content. Starting Monday, we're going to be putting out 2, 3, even maybe more videos a day on different guides. I'm currently working on a sniper rifles guide. I'm working on a bunch of different weapon reviews and walkthroughs, and oh my god, I'm excited to hop into it, guys. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave it a like. You know what to do if you didn't. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey naysayers, how y'all been? It's been a minute, but I'm in it to win, and I ain't finished. This is the starting gun, and I'ma run it to the front until I'm number one, son. This is a rhythmic defibrillation, innovative, old school to thrill the nation. I've been patiently waiting and building steam, but I'm back with the bounce like a trampoline.